The water sewage in Nantucket has 50% higher levels of cocaine than the national average. So
The Rock is doing it all.
from celebrity real estate drama to Nantucket headlines to fresh data shaking up the housing market sentiment, today's lineup blends the wild and the weighty. Let's kick it off with a transformation. Have you seen The Rock? Look at him. He has lost an insane amount of weight.
A lot.
Yes.
A lot.
He's on Ozempic, huh?
Right. He had a skinny girl summer.
He wanted to get rid of that muscle.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is insane.
It is kind of funny, like when you watch that and you see him, like he almost looks unhealthy now.
Yeah.
Just because you're used to seeing him just so swole to the gills.
What's the time frame on this?
You know,
2 weeks.
it was fast. It was fast weight loss. So he took a role as an MMA fighter, Mark Kerr, in The Smashing Machine, and he lost about 60 pounds. He went from about 300 pounds to 240 pounds to take on the role. But it's just like you see him and he looks, crazy.
Something, dude. Isn't it crazy though? Because I will say it actually gives you like the appreciation for the opposite, regardless of how he's walking around at his 6'4", 300 pounds of just yoked diesel. And I mean, he's not young anymore either. And in the duration of time that he's been able to be that big for that long, oh my gosh, nothing but mad respect, right? Because you just get tired of grinding after going to the gym. Like you go to the gym for like 10 plus years of just hard grit. You get tired.
Yeah, maybe he's living in Nantucket. Sorry, did I?
Speaking of Nantucket, Bill Belichick found a buyer for his $3.9 million beach villa in Nantucket in just 5 days.
It was The Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock bought it.
3.9 million. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like that's mad cheddar,
This is
but
all
I'm
gonna
also
come
like
around.
Massachusetts is expensive. So like,
Is Nantucket in Massachusetts?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's in New England.
New England,
just
yeah.
like, you know, and Nantucket's median home price is over $3 million. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
one of the most expensive housing markets in the U.S.
Yeah.
Nantucket.
yeah.
I know.
It's very fancy.
Very
sounding.
fancy.
Well, and this is Mr. Bill Belichick, like Mr. Wear a 10-year-old sweatshirt, cut off the sleeves, even though he's hella paid. But he's a modest guy, is what I'm saying.
Right.
So Bill Belichick's girlfriend trademarked gold digger
What?
for some sort of like luxury jewelry. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, and she got the name Gold
Apparently,
Digger.
She's owning it.
like 20-something years old.
Yeah, Chris told me that I guess now Bill Belichick's the head coach of North Carolina,
Yeah.
and they just massively lost, like 41-7. And someone had posted like, "Oh, that's the age difference between Bill Belichick and his girlfriend." And then like the community notes, he said, actually corrected it, and the age gap is even wider.
Oh,
My gosh. Yeah, the amount of flack that he's got for that. I mean, he's totally gone off the rails, I think. Like when you see him, like how he was like old school Bill Belichick, like I think the whole like the divorce between him and Tom Brady, when all that went down, messed with his brain. Just my humble opinion.
I don't know. Well, speaking of Nantucket, this next story reveals that the water sewage in Nantucket has 50% higher levels of cocaine than the national average. So
The Rock is doing it all.
Wow.
you're just like stuck on The Rock.
Jay is after
Well, he's lost so much weight.
Mr. Dwayne Johnson.
But isn't that insane?
Yes.
Well, what's weird is why is their cocaine level so high anyway, just coming out of people's waist?
Yeah. So
It's
check
like
it out. Look
cocaine's
at
pretty
Well,
rampant.
Look at
Nantucket,
the
you
chart
said the
here.
wealthiest area, so I guess all the rich people are getting wild and doing blow
It
at the
has
parties.
to be all.
I mean,
What
that's
else
how
would
it's
it
always
come
been.
from?
The history has always been the
Yeah, the rich.
wealthy doing cocaine.
I mean, I guess they're testing their sewage now for it, and that is exactly what they're finding. Pretty crazy stuff.
Who's testing sewage?
I know, what an
What
idea.
a weird-
Let's test our wastewater and see
for
what the drug
for
levels
cocaine
are.
because I mean you'd have to actually test that for that.
Yeah,
stuff,
they are.
right?
They're testing it for a few different things: cocaine,
sure.
methamphetamine, which methamphetamine barely even registered, nicotine, which was about on par with the national average, and lower levels of fentanyl than the national average. So here's Nantucket's.
They're getting the good
this grade.
stuff.
Yeah. So what they're getting is very pure, but pretty crazy findings, I thought.
I think that's pretty wild.
But from one jaw dropper to another, Katy Perry has been accused of taking advantage of an elderly Army vet in a real estate transaction. And it turns out this elderly Army vet that she was taking advantage of is the former founder of 1-800-Flowers, so very wealthy guy who agreed to sell her his Montecito mansion and then later tried to say, oh wait, I was on drugs when I agreed to sell it to you, so it didn't count. And Katy Perry actually won. But now she testified in court last week that she doesn't even own the home. Her former fiance, Orlando Bloom, does, and she revealed she never even owned this property.
Wow.
So
does
how
that
did
all
he
flush
sue
out?
her? I mean, how did an attorney
Insane.
like go and say, let's
Yeah.
sue Katy Perry?
How's this missed?
The
Yeah.
person that's not even the owner.
I know, because the court already upheld the real estate transaction. So a
Unless
lot
they
of
had
drama
like a real estate
unfolding.
contract of some sort, like on a performance together, right? Like he's the legal owner, but they had some type of contract between the two of them.
Yeah, so I guess they did like a full renovation, and she says she wasn't involved in that at all. All she did was look at some photos and videos of the renovation happening. And it just like added another star to this real estate saga. Chris Pratt rented out the home while his house was being renovated. So Chris Pratt is also being called to testify in this legal real estate drama.
And some other Montecito residents are Oprah, Meghan Markle, and Ellen. So it's a very
I thought Ellen
Hollywood most
left.
exclusive zip code.
I thought Ellen was like done with the U.S.
Apparently she owns a house there.
Or
But Chris
did,
Pratt is
or-
now renting
Yeah,
it.
well, how does that work? So like Mr. Orlando Bloom, like he's on set somewhere else in the world. So hey Chris, you could go crash in my crib in Montecito. No problem.
I guess
Usually how
so.
it goes. I'll rent
I'm
it.
like,
I'll
dang,
rent it
I gotta
from
get
you.
a part of that club.
Yeah, I know. Let's be
Elon Musk does that too. He's always like
Yeah.
crashing pads.
crashing pads and stuff. He doesn't really own anything, so yeah.
I think that's just a flex for Elon, though. I
Yeah.
think he just does it on purpose to say that I don't own anything.
I'm living in the White House right now.
I know.
Well, not
or
anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah.
He's got like cots inside a Tesla. People will walk in. Like I know in his the biography that I read of him, like literally he'd be the workers would be walking in to the factory and like he'd be asleep on the floor, like on a cot.
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
Time for a little nap.
Yep.
Elon Musk likes to flex on everybody.
Yeah.
He even flex on gamers. You think about it, like even like he'll I forget which one it is. Maybe it's like
Diablo.
Yeah, Diablo.
Uh-huh.
Be like, I level X with all this godly gear. I'm wrecking everybody, and it's like, man, when does this dude have time to play Diablo?
He paid people. He paid someone to do that for him.
Okay. To
that's
level up his character.
Yeah, that's the conspiracy. Is that it wasn't even him. He paid someone to do it.
Yeah, I mean that would there's services out there for that, so it makes sense.
But he cares so much about his gaming image. Like that's insane to me.
Well, he is a gamer, but
I was just
his
making a
latest
comment,
flex
like,
is these dancing robots. I think.
The dancing robots.
Oh my gosh, it's pretty
He's a
wild how
funny
good
guy.
they are.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like, yeah, they don't move like robots at all.
I don't think that's real.
I thought it was real. Like, I mean,
No.
if the AI is
I
that
think it's
good,
A-
then
I think it's
then
AI
I'm
that's,
took.
that's
But
showing that. That's
damn, I was like, how
they're
are they
not, they're not
moving that
dancing like that.
fluid?
If they were dancing like that, they'd be building houses.
That's why I was like,
Not
I was
yet.
just like,
and they could barely. They
they're
could
moving
barely
like humans.
Fold a
Like-
t-shirt.
yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I've seen the real one where they fold a t-shirt,
Yeah.
but they're not dancing like crazy.
Yeah.
That's
All right, well,
And it's AI generating AI.
yeah.
if I got
It's
snowed,
not
then
real.
if I got snowed, then I'm actually
You got
kind of glad
snowed?
because I was watching that. I'm like, we are cooked.
Oh, I thought
That's
it was real
exactly
too.
what
I
went through
thought
my mind.
The
We're
dancing.
cooked. If they're dancing like that, they're going to be doing everything for us.
How could, dude? That was pure coordination. I mean, like to think about
Yeah.
like programming. I mean, it's gonna get there at some point. But I'm just like, right now as it is. I mean, because he's already theorized that robots are gonna be like a mainstream house commodity within 5 years. And I'm like, if they're moving like that, it's gonna be like 5 months.
Yeah, well, Tesla sales have been like really horrible. Like, and he just said in his like the earnings report, or whatever, he said, "I'm not worried about it. Optimus is going to be the biggest, like the biggest revenue generator. It's not the Tesla cars."
Wow.
So we'll see.
His whole like, what was that mission statement? I guess it's been their main mission statement for a while, but like, sustainable abundance, right? Like that's his whole thing. I actually thought that message was super powerful.
Yeah. How so?
Because sustainable abundance for all is amazing, right? Like,
Well, yeah,
What,
if you
what
have-
does-
if you
what does
have
that mean to you?
well, it is. Agreed. It's of the beholder, but for well, I'm like, how do I answer this in one
he just
sentence?
thinks it's cool. Sustainable
No.
abundance.
Sustainable
For me,
abundance.
that means that
Yes.
like you're able to have as many robots doing all the things that you don't want to do, and you can do whatever you want to do. But I mean, a lot of people they like doing things
Yep.
because it feels good to
Yep.
like do your laundry. Well, not for me, but maybe for some people.
Not for you.
But it's really cool coming home to no laundry, all the dishes put away,
Agreed.
your house cleaned,
Yep.
your yard mowed,
Yep.
everything's done by the end of. So you come home every day and there's really nothing to do besides
And so here,
do whatever you want to do.
he-
Sorry, I'm slamming it.
yeah, here's the other dark side of that though, because like I love that thought like of the sustainable abundance to like where you can live an abundant life, and it's sustainable, and whether that be getting to do what you want to do virtually all of the time.
You
Right?
can't define something with the actual words.
Yes, I did. I just did. Getting to do what you want to do like all of the time, right? To me, that's like a form of sustainable abundance.
When I think of sustainable abundance, I'm thinking it in terms of the world and the ability for everybody to have access to, the necessities that it takes just to live like a good life: water, food, shelter, clothing, education, and for that to be, of surplus so that
And
no
then
one
in
has to
Nantucket, cocaine.
unfairly live.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're thinking of it in terms of like for yourself, for your person, having a lot of robots. You're defining it with the definition. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by that.
I just did. That's what I was saying the whole time. It's getting to do what you wanted to do in an abundant fashion, right? So that means you don't have to go rake the backyard. You don't have to go mow the grass. You don't have to fold the laundry. You don't have to build the thing, right? Because you have a robot that's going to be able to do it for you. The only thing I will speak to the other side of it, right, is I think that there's a lot of personal confidence that comes from completing things. So I'm actually very curious that when those things happen, like you start not having to do the day in and day out mundane stuff, there's a lot of confidence, right?
Yeah, soon we'll have robots doing this podcast for us. So we can just
What do you mean,
do whatever
Jason?
we want to do.
We are.
Sorry, I'm slamming the desk
Yes.
again. I'm sorry.
It's
We
like-
we already
lot
know
of
how
copy.
the story ends. Have you guys seen iRobot?
No.
They
Or Terminator.
they take over, and it's all a plot and scheme to take over the human race. So,
we could be closer than anyone really thinks.
so we'll enjoy it while it lasts. If it happens, I'll just say that.
Oh dang it! Who's the guy that I forget his name, but he's the CEO that just stepped down from Google within like some reasonable amount of time. He was on a podcast talking about basically how we're screwed.
We're doomed.
You're talking about Sergey Brin?
Nope, it's the other dude. I'll have to look it up and show you.
Because he was recently on a podcast talking about how AI works best when you threaten it. And he was like, I remember we talked about that not too long ago, which was really interesting.
And the guy might not have been the CEO. He was some C-suite role within Google. I'm pretty sure. Something I saw on IG or something, and I like went through it, and it was pretty interesting.
Well, hey, back to real estate reality. Zoodealio and Resi Club did a joint survey of real estate agents, and some of the findings were rather interesting. They've been picked up by Fast Company, by Newsweek. It's really cool to see the Zoodealio news spreading. But let's talk about a few of the findings from the Zoodealio Resi Club survey. One that Jason thought was most interesting was centered around NAR. You want to talk about that one, Jay?
Yes, the sentiment around NAR, shocker, with real estate agents is bad.
That's the takeaway.
Whoa, that came out.
Agents do not think NAR is very good.
Yeah, they had a
So,
very unfavorable view of NAR.
NAR, which it's like, why do we need NAR?
It is kind of out with the old and with the new, right? Like, I mean, I get the lobbying and some of those pieces, but when you look at how they've gotten dominated the last couple of years, you're paying a lot of money to an organization that really we give them our data, then they sell it to somebody else, and we end up just getting taken advantage of.
And they have a $2.5 billion renovation of their building. I guess.
What?
I'm kidding. That's the Fed.
That's
I'm
the
like,
Fed.
No, that's not
But
true.
don't they have like they spend what crazy amount of money on advertising, crazy amount of money on all this stuff, and when you look at
Yes.
like the budget and how it's delivered, it's not for the greater good of us as agents.
Realtors are still next to car salesmen.
Totally.
We have an image problem.
Yeah, and
as a
they've tried to
realtor
like, you remember the whole realtor thing?
Yeah,
They-
I think the PR
commercials?
campaign.
Realtor.
Mhm.
The way that they
Oh,
would
I'm a
say it, remember that?
realtor.
Be a realtor. Those
You're like,
commercials.
I will say it's an interesting trend because I do follow the economists for NAR on Instagram, and one of them has been doing a really good job of putting out a lot of great content. I think that they're trying to do a good job of publishing data for us agents to use. But what I would love to know is what our realtor count is right now.
Yeah,
Because they took the
It's a
membership
secret,
numbers.
right?
It's a secret now. They took the membership numbers. They used to publish them. They published them for years. And then all of a sudden, they just stopped. They stopped publishing that data.
What are we paying for?
Well, it does make you worried, right? Or not worried, but like really how bad is it? Because like we've obviously been through catastrophes before and had 20-30% membership drop. And so is this just so much more worse and polarizing than that?
You mean that they don't want people to know? You think
Yeah.
That's why they took it away?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you think about it, why else would they have done that? They saw the writing on the wall. Membership was going to drop. They didn't want anyone to really be able to track it. And so instead they're like, oh, well, you can check with your local association to see what your local association numbers are, which there are like 300 associations across the US. And so it's, nobody's out there like sourcing all of that. Maybe somebody is. If you are, let me know, drop it in the comments. But yeah, they made it difficult to know what the number is. So we know that when they last stopped reporting, it was hovering around 1.5 million.
Yep.
What's our guess? Like, what do we think that realtor count sits at today?
600,000.
No
Oh, wow.
way.
No way.
Hey, I can only say it. I mean, they took
I
it away,
mean,
so we're
no
going with
way.
600,000.
For all the active realtors, that'd actually be great because think about how busy they would all be.
Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
we don't know.
It's probably like 135, 1375. That's my guess.
I mean, what do you say? Like when we don't know, your mind comes up with anything.
You make up a
Yep.
story.
Make up a story in
Mhm.
your mind.
In the absence
My
of.
story is 600,000.
Yeah. It's true. I guess
Well,
that's
I
wishful
think the
thinking.
best
They'd be
thing
like-
that NAR could do is cut their costs and lower fees for agents. Because
It's-
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, like, what do they do for us? And if they're going to do something that is going to actually help agents.
So
you
what
know?
would actually help agents that they could do?
Stay out of our business and cut the fees. Don't make a bunch of stupid commercials.
Yeah, RPR is one cool resource that we get, from them. But that's like your normal real estate agent. Is that really even that beneficial to them?
Probably not.
Not that much.
Most of them don't even know how to log in. I'm going to be real.
Yeah.
They don't even know it exists. Because they have MLS. Like what? Like if you're going to, you're not going to use RPR
Exactly.
over MLS. You're going to use your MLS.
I don't know.
Keith uses RBR.
No, I'm saying that we've had some agents literally come back to us and say, well, RPR said it's worth X, and then
Oh, I see, yeah.
send us a PDF
Yeah,
and
for
saying
your
that
automated valuation.
our valuation's wrong because RPR said it was worth this.
Got it.
So some agents
do
legit,
use it.
Legit do that,
And
and they don't send us the MLS comps.
really? We'll just send you RPR. That's
Especially if it's
interesting.
better.
I'm not saying that's a big bulk of people, but I've had it happen many times.
Okay.
I found it very intriguing.
I
keep
would
it
too.
Keep it that simple.
That's why I thought a lot of agents like don't even log in. They don't even know their login
Oh yeah.
or their NERDS number.
Oh yeah.
Anything else though about the survey? I mean, ultimately, what was revealed is probably what we're all feeling is
Yeah.
that real estate agents say that buyers are gaining leverage across the U.S. 81% say that buyers are gaining leverage in their local housing market. But when you look at the southwest region of the U.S., 96% of agents say that buyers are gaining a footing. So
A massive footing. I mean, some of these offers that we're getting are just crazy.
Well, and again, I think we talked about this a couple podcasts ago, but some of the negotiations and the inspections are.
Yeah, they're really trying
Unreal.
to seize. They're
Like,
trying to
some
seize
of them are
that.
longer than the contract.
I mean, I'll literally tell our
Unreal.
agent and just say, hey, you know what? Just literally go back to the buyer's agent and say, do your buyers even want this house?
Right.
Because
This is
what are we doing
unreasonable.
here? Go back to them with your absolute deal breaker items that if they are not done, they will walk away from the deal. Give me those items, and then we can take a look at it and see if we can make it work. And 9 times out of 10, whether it's 20 items or 10 items, it gets cut more than in half.
Yeah,
good piece
when
of
they're
advice.
asking
Listen to that one.
for the anti-tip.
But what
bracket
I'm
to be
getting at
installed,
is-
it's getting bad.
Yeah, the anti-tip bracket. Yes. Yeah, on the
the
back of the
washer?
stove.
No, on the stove.
On the
It's
On the
like-
stove, yeah. That's what I figured.
There is no anti-tip bracket. Please install it.
I know, like,
You're like, okay.
that is
out of all of the
nitpicky.
houses I've ever pulled stoves, I can think of maybe 1 or 2 that I've ever seen that even in there.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
All
The
right.
home inspector should have needed that.
Bitcoin is the talk of the town, and Grant Cardone has listed his $42 million Miami Beach mansion for 400 Bitcoin. No cash accepted, only BTC.
Yeah, this house
Doesn't
is
wanna be-
sweet.
doesn't
It's like
wanna-
100 feet of like private beach. I mean, it's like white sand. Oh,
Dude, that is
400 Bitcoin.
awesome. 100 feet
Shoot,
of width.
I didn't
of
even
beachfront
calculate
property,
that.
That's awesome.
What is that? 30-some million?
No,
42 million.
42 million
Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
doll hairs.
Yeah, insane. So it's
Smart.
listed on Proppy, which we gotta love Proppy for being so forward thinking. And he will not take cash.
Yeah,
Well,
he's trying to eat the dip. You said right?
Yeah, I saw an Exxon post. He's all, I'm trying to buy the dip. I know with his accent.
Eat
I
the
can
dip.
I can just see him saying that. I'm trying to buy that dip.
Hey, well, if we get that pump in
great.
Q4, like a lot of people anticipate it's going to come, imagine if he can do that now, buy in at 110ish, and the market pumps to 150, 180 per coin. That'll be a hell of a return.
Sure would.
Yeah, 100% return.
Well, hey, I mean, I don't see anyone else doing this, so kudos to him. Like, this could start a massive trend.
It could start a trend.
I mean,
yeah.
he's
Oh, yeah, he's an influencer.
If you've ever like actually, he's clearly changed a lot of directions compared to, let's say, a decade ago, 5+ years ago. But from like his sales training, he's definitely different than your average, sales training guy. But so he's like one of those people where like you resonate with it, you don't. I feel like there's like kind of a no in
He can be a
between
bit
with him.
brash, I think, for a lot of people.
But with that aside, I guess the rabbit hole I'm trying to go down, he's always been unique and a trendsetter in what he's doing. So I think it's pretty cool that he's doing this because it's pretty freaking bold.
Well, we talked about this probably about a year ago when we were talking about how we think that a lot of the very wealthy people
Right.
are going to start, because a lot of these wealthy people hold these houses. I mean, Grant probably he doesn't live in this house year round.
No.
He probably goes there a couple
Sure.
weeks out of the year, and it just sits there vacant because he knows it's an asset. He keeps asset. He
Right.
doesn't keep dollars. And a lot of these very wealthy people are going to start selling these big giant places and buying Bitcoin, and that's exactly what he's trying to do. And so what we said before was that it's like some of these very big giant estates, that some of the prices are going to start to come down because they're going to be all trying to sell
Well,
them.
it's going to be liquid.
Yeah.
They're not liquid. They're putting them in digital assets.
Yeah. I mean, some of these places.
Makes
I mean,
sense
like
to
we've gone to Vail a few times in the summertime because it's like a ghost town there, and there's these multi-million-dollar mansions just sitting there by the river that are just empty. You can see there's no lights on, just empty.
Well, and especially when a lot of these digital assets are going up 20 to 50% per year. I mean, even in a real estate, even if it appreciates at 5-6%,
Yeah.
obviously, it's not rocket science math.
You don't have property taxes on Bitcoin.
And you don't have and you don't have depreciation.
You don't have homeowners
property
insurance on
maintenance.
Bitcoin.
Right.
You don't have all the maintenance.
Yep.
You don't have to pay a housekeeper.
I still think real estate is a solid long-term investment, but there's,
Oh yeah,
there's
if
no
you're
doubt
living in
that
it, if you're living in it,
digital
and you're
assets
using
are,
it,
If you're using it,
it,
for
yeah.
sure.
But a lot of these multi-millionaire and billionaires are sitting on 14, $20 million houses, and
Yeah,
they're
'cause
empty most of the time.
Grant is a billionaire now, isn't he?
Probably
No
pretty
idea.
close, maybe.
Yeah, probably with all his stuff
Yeah,
that he's
well,
put together
asset,
now.
of course, they're all
And I know he was one of those people too that raised like hundreds of millions of dollars to buy Bitcoin too recently.
I was reading that eventually every company will be a Bitcoin treasury company,
have some
and that's
kind of
just the way of it will be the way of the future, which is kind of interesting to think about. And also in the topic of Bitcoin, I mean, we've been talking about Bitcoin quite a bit on our channel for quite a long time. And if you, in fact, I would love to go back and find clips, even before last September when we were talking about Bitcoin, because if you look at when we first started talking about it, I think what was it, like 38,000 a coin?
Yeah.
I think
Or-
it was like
or-
January or February of 24.
24 when we really started talking about it. Was it? I think it
'Cause I
was
feel
even
like
before that, but yeah.
Well, okay, so it was before that because
we started buying in May of 2023.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Okay,
the talk was that the SEC was going to allow
The
you know,
ETF.
the
Yeah.
ETFs, or it was BlackRock that when they put in their application to do an ETF, and people were like, "Whoa,
Wait, what?
that's
BlackRock,
Yeah,
BlackRock,
wait, what?
BlackRock put an application. They're not going to be turned down. I mean, BlackRock wants an ETF. BlackRock's
They're
going
gonna
to get an
get it,
ETF.
yeah.
BlackRock is the rule of the world. So
Yeah, $12 trillion.
they're going to get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's when it clicked for me. I was like, wait a minute, like BlackRock
Yep. that
wanting
makes
to get an
sense.
ETF on this stuff, it's real. You gotta
Yeah.
get into it.
I've had over the years, we've had a few people on the channel and Instagram DMs ask me to do a complete rundown of Bitcoin and why we believe in it. So that could be something kind of
that'd
fun
be good.
for us to do one day. Interesting. What do you think? What do you think about Bitcoin digital assets? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Clearly, we all still believe in real estate because we love real estate. That's where our heart is. But diversification is a good thing. And so will we see more people listing their homes for only Bitcoin like Grant Cardone? Drop it in the comments and let us know. And thanks for tuning in.